Hi guys, thank you so much for being here. So I'm really excited about my tutorial today because I'm going to show you how I make a figure out of a brown paper bag. I absolutely love drawing on this surface because I can use the color to my advantage to create a really interesting and expressive figure. So I've already done a few and I'm just going to show you what I did. This one over here, I added a rosette fabric embellishment and I absolutely love it because the contrast of this really decadent fabric with the brown and black raw portrait on a crumpled up brown paper bag makes for a really delicious, juicy, interesting page in my junk journal. And I'm gonna bring this up closer so you can look at this fabric. It is absolutely beautiful. Now over here, what I did is I cut up an envelope and I used some Mod Podge and I adhered it to the portrait after I completed it and then it was dry. And after I put the envelope onto the page, I took my pencil and I drew the neckline to integrate the collage onto the page so it didn't really like stand out as much. And I really this kind of a raw, organic, layered look to my page as well. This over here is a coffee cup holder that I painted and then I ripped it up and I just stuck it on the top over there. And it's just a very simple way to add some color and texture to the portrait. This is a very simple portrait. I didn't add anything onto it and I love the simplicity of this. It's just a beautiful, expressive portrait that would be a great addition to my junk journal page. So I'm gonna move these off to the side for now and I'm gonna show you how I did it. So the very first thing I wanna do is crumple up my brown paper bag. And then I want to use a graphite pencil, but you don't have to do that. You can use whatever you would like. I mean, you can use charcoal or a colored pencil or a watercolor pencil or Conti pencils. I mean, it's totally up to you. I hope that the camera can pick up these lines. But the reason why I want to use a graphite pencil in the beginning is because if I have any mistakes with the features or the proportions or I want to change something, then I can erase it and it's not going to make a big mess. But you know, sometimes those messes turn out to be a really beautiful addition to your page or your brown paper bag portrait. So it all depends on what you want to do. This is just a guideline, but you can use different materials and you might want to do a pen and ink drawing. So because I'm making an expressive portrait, one of the things I found that if I make the eyes kind of looking off to the side, that instantly adds some interest to the face because it's like, oh, okay, a sense of curiosity, like what's going on over there? You know, what is she looking at? So I'm gonna put the eyes off to the side over there. And I want the hair to be kind of like just loose and organic, not too stilted, or I want it to be an interesting shape. Okay, so now I'm going to use my Stabilo pencil, but you know, charcoal works really beautifully as well. So just use whatever you have. I mean, maybe even an oil pastel or whatever works. Now I dipped my Stabilo in water, so I get this really juicy black marks over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna hold my pencil more on the top part of the, like I'm holding it like up here. When I want a tighter drawing, like when I was drawing with my graphite pencil, I was holding it at the base, and that's going to give me more control over my pencil, and it's going to make for a tighter drawing. But now that I have the underpinnings of the drawing that I want, I can afford to be a lot looser with my lines with the Stabilo pencil. So I'm going to kind of hold it more at the top part, so that way I'm using my wrist and I'm just getting a lot more movement. And this just makes for really expressive marks, and interesting things can happen because like I don't have a lot of control over my pencil. Oh, I just love all that juicy black stuff going on over there. And I'm going to use my paintbrush to kind of bring some of that black into the rest of her hair. And I try not to worry about, like, you know, some of that line kind of got into her eye a little bit, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. And there we go. And that did not take a long time at all. Now what I'm going to do is I want to rip this out of here. I don't want to use a pair of scissors because I want a very rough, raw, jagged edge. But if you wanted cleaner lines, then obviously you would use scissors. And actually, I should probably wait for this to dry because I think some of the water is gonna run, but that's okay. It's just gonna add some interest to the portrait. It's not a big deal. But I just wanted to show you like how I rip it up because I really am going for a very unfinished look. And I keep all these pieces of the bag over here. Like I'm gonna keep all these little pieces because there's 101 ways I can use it in my junk journal later on. So I never get rid of any of this stuff. I have a box and I just put all these little pieces in it, and then when I need something I just go looking in there and, you know, find what I need. And I'm not going to use a heating tool to dry this or anything because I want it to have a very like organic look. And if I use a heating tool, then some of the stuff, you know, some of the water might run off on the page and stuff, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to leave this off to the side to dry, and I'm going to show you with one of the pieces that I've already done. So I think I'm going to use this one here. And this is a junk journal that is in various stages of completion. And so I think what I'm going to do is I would put this over here, and I can either use my Mod Podge on the back of this page and gently press down on it. Like I wouldn't put the Mod Podge over top of this because it could smudge. And and then allow it to completely dry, or I could use a hot glue gun to stick this onto my page. And then once it's completely dry and stuck on there, then you can go, and there's so many different things you could do. You could leave it as is, like, you know, if you wanted a very simple look, you could put that and just leave it as is, or you could add embellishments. You could even add a little bit of paint if you wanted to. But I really love the contrast between this portrait that's done on a crumpled up brown paper bag with this more painterly page. It just adds a lot of dimension and variation to your junk journal. So I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope this inspired you to make your very own expressive portrait on a brown paper bag for your junk journals. And I'll see you later. Bye.